Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Progression Reloaded, and this week we're changing things up just a bit because we are adding a card to the ban list, and that is Ring of Destruction. It's a card that, since its first appearance in the series, has, ended multiple duels in an anticlimactic fashion, and, our ban list exists for two reasons. One is to balance out the game, and two is because we want to keep these duels as entertaining as possible, and a card like that just kind of results in degenerate wins, and it's ultimately not fun for us or for the viewer. Well, it might be fun for Justin, but it's not really fun for me. But it's something that we want to make sure that we keep our eyes on. We want to make sure that the games are as entertaining as possible, and to do that, sometimes the ban list will have to include cards like this, hits out of nowhere. But at this point in real life, Ring of Destruction has been banned for years, so I think it might be the right move to finally hit it in the series proper. Now, that being said, this week is guaranteed to be a good one. It is Dragon Ruler time, and they're only rare, so I feel like it's pretty much guaranteed that me and Justin are going to be playing Dragon Rulers in some shape or form. We both waited a long time for this one because it is one of the most important and popular formats in all of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, and I don't have a cup of coffee to drink here, but if I did, I'd probably take a sip of it and tell you to sit down and tune in because it is time for a great episode of Progression Reloaded.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the winner's wheel. We got another win last episode. Very excited for this. Don't really know what I want, so I'm just going to spin it and then we'll check what all we can get. Here's hoping for something good though. Alright, looks like we get a super rare for the Return of the Duelist. Let's go ahead and check that out. Alright guys, so after browsing through the set, the one super rare that did catch my eye right away was Yugioh armor. I have a very good core for the main deck outside of armor, but I don't know if one armor is really good enough to play the deck, especially since today Dragon Rulers come into the mix. So I think instead what I'm going to go ahead and grab, and this may be something that's a little bit risky, I'm going to go ahead and grab Swordbreaker. It's a generic rank 6, and you detach a material, and it's almost like a catastor for a specific type that you declare. Pretty cool. It's a decent beater. I only have the Atum as a rank 6, but again, with the opening today, I'm just hoping to get at least maybe one or two Dragon Rulers. Obviously, two would be ideal, but I think if I get a couple, then I know I can play some kind of hieratic variant, and having another rank 6 to go along my hieratic portion of the engine be very great.
Alright, so we're going to spin the wheel twice, once for Return of the Duelist and once for Abyss Rising. Both sets have a couple things that I missed out on, but honestly, there's nothing that I really want either way. Again, a lot of archetype heavy stuff that kind of makes things a little difficult. First off, we're going to start off with a comic for Return of the Duelist. I guess we'll add a second Photon Caesar. Not much of a choice here.
Okay, next is Abyss Rising. Let's go ahead and spin this, and we'll see what we get as well. Looks like we're getting a rare. Okay, let's go check it out. Alright, so after going through this, there's really not much I need in the rare slot, unfortunately, but I think in my opening, I only had one of the Messengelato for the Madolche lineup. I'm missing a lot of the support, so I doubt I'll ever touch it, but you know what, just in case, who knows, sometimes we open reprint sets, and maybe I might have access to this in the future, but as far as starter decks go, there's no other way I'm going to be having access to any of the Madolche stuff, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and grab this, and who knows? We'll see if we touch it.
Alright, next up we are spinning for Abyss Rising. Again, a lot of archetype heavy stuff, so it's hard for me to say anything that I really want, but it looks like I'm going to be getting an Ultra. Not a lot of options here, so we're going to go ahead and pick up number 9, Dyson Sphere.
So, for the first set of this week, Cosmo Blazer, we're going to be opening 24 packs. Fire Fist are basically the big premier archetype of this set. There's some more Mermail support, like Heraldic support as well, and I think there was some Noble Knights, but really Fire Fists are the main thing that is in this set. Tenki is a common, would love to get a playset of that. Fire Fist, Bear, and Tiger King, I believe, are both ultra rare, but everything else in the archetype is all really low rarity. There is a generic rank 4 I would love to get my hands on. Diamond Dire Wolf is generic removal, basically Scrap Dragon for rank 4s. So we'll see if we can get lucky this week. And again, the next box we're opening is Dragon Rulers, but there's nothing guaranteed about the Dragon Rulers set, aside from most likely hitting at least one or two of the rulers, but I'm definitely hoping to be able to play dragons this week. My last couple openings have not been that great. So we'll flip this up, Hopefully we hit some tankies. It'd be nice to get a nice little Fire Fist core, but really I'm hoping next box is the box that we do well on. First pack, let's flip it up. Starting off pretty okay. There's Gorilla, that's the spell and trap removal for the deck. And there's Bacon Saber, that's basically a Necro Gardener, but it's a zombie. Pretty cool.
Our first set of the week is Cosmo Blazer, and this one is pretty interesting. Introduces the fan favorite Zexal type that is Fire Fist. There's also a couple more in here like Hazy Flame and Heraldic, but ultimately Fire Fist is the best. In addition, we get Crimson Blader for the Synchro monsters, but really a Fire Fist core would be very much appreciated here. Of course, if I get Crimson Blader, I'm not going to complain because it's a pretty good level 8. Anything else, well, it's not bad, but it's not great either. Again, this suffers from the same problems that a lot of Zexal sets suffer from, where they're very archetype heavy. So if I don't pull anything good archetype wise, or if I pull a lot of good lower rarity stuff, but nothing good in the upper rarities, then it's kind of a waste of a set. So ideally, we get the Tiger King and a bunch of nice level 4s to go alongside it. Pack number 1, we get Hazy Flames and nothing much else.
Ooh, now this is a big one. I totally forgot this was in the set. Crimson Blader comes in as a generic level 8 Synchro, and its effect is pretty amazing. Whenever you run over something by battle, your opponent can't normal or special summon level 5 or higher next turn. So, well, really this is great for the future potential Dragon Ruler format we're about to enter, but also with Ricardo being on a lot of Synchro decks and whatnot, this is actually a really amazing card. Doesn't really stop Exceeds, but again, this card is really amazing. Glad we got the one.
Another Gorilla, and we also get Hawk, or Raven rather. Another Gorilla and a Raven, so we have 2 Fire Fist monsters at our disposal. Not a single Tenki yet. There is our first Tenki and a Raven. Another Crimson Blader. We get Spirit of the Fire Fist, or whatever its name is. So we have 3. We get the big boy. We get Boar. Fire Fist might be playable. I'm just like 1 or 2 cards away from it. There is another Tenki. Will we see it though?
Didn't this happen in the last opening where I hit the Ghost Rare, what's his name? The Ghost Rare Heroic, what was his name? Oh. The Heroic Challenger rank 4, and then I hit another one in Ultra Rare. I don't know, this is a little weird. I am glad though that is our second Tenki, so we're right at the halfway point. Hopefully we can get at least one more. Okay, nothing here. There's a Tensu, not bad. We hit a secret rare, and it was Madrat. I remember there was so much hype on this archetype when it came out, but, you know, honestly, it's kind of garbage. Okay, more Hazy support, more Heraldic support, but still no third Tenki and no Diamond Dire. Those are really the big chase ones, at least for me. All right, second Gorilla. That's awesome. I would love to hit a Bear. Don't know if I'd ever use it, but it's just such a good removal card, especially right now. Hopefully we can get at least one, but again, it's ultra rare. It's a third of the Heart Earth Dragon. 2 ultras and a ghost rare. That is horrible. Wow, this opening, aside from 3 common Tenki, which is our highlight, which is pretty sad, there really isn't anything else in here. I have a little bit of a Hazy core, but I'm still even missing multiples of the Search card. I think I only have 1 of the Pterodon, or whatever his name is. Man, this one was really rough. I had a lot higher hopes for this, but really, I guess I got some Tenkis. Oh, actually I lied. Crimson Blader. That was a good pull. So we got Tenkis and Crimson Blader. Let's go on to the next pack.
I mean, I guess it could be, worse. Actually, how does this look? Yeah. It could be worse, could be better. We get a pretty decent Hazy Flame lineup, if I'm not mistaken. Some Infernities, which I don't think are going to do much for me. I got a bunch of Star Eaters. Our Fire Fist lineup is pretty okay. We got 1 Spirit, We got multiple ravens, our one boar, and our one hawk, and multiple gorillas, and of course our one boar, or our one bear. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Xyz Tiger King. We got a bunch of Tenkis, which are great. So we have a playset. We got some Tensus again, which are cool. The real issue here is that we didn't get the Xyz. We did get the Infernal Flame Vixen. We did get a Hazy Flame we got the Hazy Flame, and we got Heart Earth 92. A playset of Crimson Bladers, but unfortunately we didn't get the Tiger King, which kind of hurts because we have the Fire Fist core, but not the main boss monster. So, I mean, they're an engine, I guess we could say, but I don't know, it might be kind of rough playing without that Tiger King. So, Fire Fist is a maybe, just in terms of having an engine, but I'm not sure if it's the most viable way to go.
Okay, so this is the big one this week, Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. I would love to get me some Dragon Rulers, one of each attribute if possible, and obviously the more the merrier. I mean, Battle Unboxers are in here too. They're all pretty low rarity, but again, I have a lot of ideas for these rulers, and really they're just one of my favorite archetypes of all time, so hopefully I can get my hands on it. The last few openings have not been that good at giving me new decks to play, but we'll see what happens. First pack. Okay, we got a handful of the babies, and that's really it. I mean, there's Tetherwolf, which is technically a level 7 when it gets a token, but yeah, nah.
Our second set of the week is Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, and this set is absolutely loaded. Not only do we get additional Fire Fist support, we introduce the Mecha Phantom Beast. We get Battle and Boxers, but more important than anything, we get the Dragon Rulers. This set is insane. Ideally, we pull multiple Dragon Rulers. That would be the best way to go forward. But we are missing a couple nice rank 7 Xyz like Big Eye. So while we would really like to have the Dragon Rulers, we may not benefit off of them the way that most would, and in Justin's case, definitely would. So let's hop into Lord of Tachyon Galaxy and pray we get some Dragon Rulers, but I'm not going to be complaining if I get some Phantom Beast either. Pack number 1. We get Fire Fist Rhino, which is pretty nice adding into our lineup. We get the Baby Fire Dragon and our first Battle Boxer and a Shark Fortress. We also get Steam, so we have 2 baby dragons, but I want the big dragons.
Pack number 3, though, that's pretty good. We got Blaster. This one's actually really important. Not only is it the biggest one, but of all the Dragon Rulers we have, there are only 2 that's going to search something pretty decent. They all have their babies that they can search, but Blaster can actually search our Flamvell Guard as a level 1 tuner, which is pretty relevant. And Tempest can actually search Debris Dragon, but I mean, that's not that relevant unless we get Star Eater next week. But anyway, getting ahead of myself, 1 ruler down. Hopefully we can get some more. Okay, this pack's loading, but hey, I already saw we got second Blaster. That's awesome.
Here we go. We get the Tachyon Galaxy Lord, but more importantly, we get Blaster, baby. That is 1 Dragon Ruler. We also get the baby. We get another Fire Fist. I'm pretty happy. We got Blaster, baby. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Pack number 5. We get a second Blaster. Was good. We get a bunch of cards that aren't Blaster. Pack number 6. We get a Redox.
Okay, 3rd ruler here. We have the 2 Blaster and now 1 Redox. I believe we have 1 Pebbles. I have to go back and check, but there's also a Stream, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully we can get some more. Missing 2 of them now in our collection. Halfway point, and there's Tidal. Okay, 1 Water, 1 Earth, 2 Fire. I can make that work. Hopefully we get more, though. We're at the halfway point, like I just said, but hey, would love to hit a Tempest.
All right, our second Redox. So we have 4 Dragon Rulers on my third Dragon Ruler. Baby, let's go. All right, one more.
Okay, second Redox. That's not bad. Again, these are all going to go to 1 for us pretty soon. But hey, I'll take what I can get. Yo, okay. Third Blaster. So we got 3 Blaster, 2 Redox, and I believe 1 Title. Not perfect. It's pretty good. Second Title. Let's go. That's actually really awesome because we do have the Yugioh, and it requires 2 waters. So hypothetically, we can summon 1 off of the baby and then use the second one to summon itself with its own effect. So awesome for us. Still no Tempest, though. Would love to hit that. Okay, there's another Redox. I think that's 3. I could be wrong, but I think that's 3. I saw some Exceeds, and I thought maybe we'd get lucky with the Draco Sack, but, you know, we got some Battle Unboxers. Definitely an option for something in the future when these rulers get hit, because right now, with the ruler lineup I have, even though I'm missing Tempest, and we got 1 pack left, I still feel like this lineup's pretty solid. Pack 24. My heart dropped. I saw the Exceed. Okay, we have Constellar Omega. Not bad, but I don't know when we're ever going to play that. So, all in all, highlights, obviously the Dragon Rulers. We have, I believe, 3 of the Blaster. Let's find them. Well, there's 1, 2, and 3. And then of the Earths, I believe we have 3 of those as well. There's 1 Earth, 2, and 3. That's already really amazing to have 2 play sets. And again, we have no Tempest, but we do have multiple titles. This is one I would have loved to have had 3 of, but you know, we got a bunch of the babies, so that's no problem. There's the 1 title, and there's number 2. Super awesome. Really excited for this episode. I really love Dragon Rulers, so I'm excited to get something put together. No Draco Sack though, but with the 2 title makes it to where technically if our hand's good enough, we could go first turn Yugioh, which really isn't that bad. It's not as good as Draco Sack, but you know, it's something. I'm going to start brainstorming. I'm very excited. Hopefully we get another W this week, and yeah, I'm surprised to see that I pulled this well. I really was just hoping for like 1 of each attribute, but hey, no Tempest at the cost of, well, total of 8 rulers. Take that every day. Super awesome.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at this. We got 2 Blasters. We got 1 Tempest, and we have 2 Redox. Unfortunately, we didn't pull a title, but I cannot complain because what a busted and disgusting lineup we have. We pulled the baby dragons for everything, I believe. We got a bunch of battle unboxers. Man, honestly, we pulled really, really good here, but the dragons just completely take the sword to the top. Our Xyz lineup also gets a nice buff with Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, Battle Unboxers, the Fairy Cheer Girl, a bunch of King of the Fair Limbs, but goddamn, the Dragon Rulers take this away. I think I have to play dragons this week. You know, I don't want to. I really don't want to. But it's out of my hands. You know, this is gonna be a fun one. It's time to build.
All right, so another week and another deck list. Very excited for this one. Unfortunately, we don't get to play Ring of Destruction, but with how our Dragon Ruler pulls went this week, I actually had no intention in playing the card this week. So this week we are going to be playing Hieratic Rulers. I'm very excited for this deck. Normally you wouldn't combine these 2 lists together, at least until after the rulers went to 1, but I am lacking in the extra deck department for both decks. So by combining them, they actually fill a lot of the empty spaces between both decks that they're lacking. Starting things off, we are playing 3 Aset, 3 Sue, and 3 Tefnuit. Tefnuit being the Cyber Dragon, Sue being able to summon itself by attributing 1, and also being able to pop back row, which is really good for going second, and then Aset being your main normal summon for the engine if you are going first. All these Hieratics have a very similar effect where whenever they're attributed, you can summon a normal dragon from the deck. We are obviously playing the 1 Watt Tail to set up our rank 6 plays, and we also have 2 Flamvel Guard from back in Hidden Arsenal 1, which I'm very excited to be playing. I was going to play this regardless because it's also searchable by Blaster, which is going to set up a lot of our level 8 synchro plays, But if we open multiple of these Heretics, we also have the option to bring out the Flamvell Guard rather than searching it off the blaster, but we'll go into that a little bit later. Moving on to the Dragon Ruler portion, we play 3 Blaster with 2 of the Red Baby, 3 Redox with 2 of the Earth Baby, and the 2 Tidal, because that's all we have, alongside 3 of the Water. The reason I decided to do this is because in actuality, the Water is going to be our best first turn combo piece, because we don't have Dracosac, but we do have an Abyss Gaios in our card pool. So being able to either summon one through its effect and then bring out the second with the Attomb through the Heretic combo, or even drawing a baby to bring out the second, makes it to where going first turn Abyss Gaios is actually something that's pretty probable. Typically you want to play 2 of each baby, but space is really tight, as you can already see by looking at the deck list. So I really believe this is the correct ratio, at least with what I have access to. For the last monster, we are playing the 1 Max C. It's not searchable or anything, but it does have synergy with Redox, so that's pretty cool. No Tempest, unfortunately, so obviously we're not going to play the Wind. And, of course, that also means we're not going to play Debris Dragon. But I think this lineup is super solid, and the combos this deck is going to be able to do is going to be very insane. And unless Ricardo pulls an amazing Dragon Ruler core himself, I don't know. I feel like this deck can be very fast, or at least the fastest deck this series has had so far. I'm very excited. Moving on to the spells, we have the 1 Convocation. It's all we pulled, but it is the Rhoda for the deck. Can search any of the missing combo pieces. We have Reborn and Premature Burial, just great extenders, plus again, being able to help us get multiple titles on the field if we've already used its effect. Again, setting up the Gaios, and we do have the Big Eye as well, but again, just good extender, whether it's for rank 6 plays, synchro plays, or even rank 7 plays. I'm very excited to be playing these. After that, we play a bunch of draw power, 3 Super Rejuvenation, 3 Upstart Goblin, and the 1 card of Safe Return. Super Rejuve is obviously really insane with all the baby rulers that we are playing. Discarding or tributing counts for the advantage we can get off of drawing. But the fact that we're also playing Heretics makes it to where no matter what engine we draw, Rejuve is going to be very insane to resolve. We could probably draw upwards of 4 cards if our hand is decent. Not only that, of course, it's not once per turn, so in the end phase, if I draw another copy of Rejuve, then I can just activate it right away and even draw more cards. So this will help me dig for the Max C, dig for any of my power cards, and of course, if I draw a bunch of dragons and I have too many cards in hand, then I can just discard them and really lose no advantage because they're all going to bring themselves back anyway. 3 upstarts, obviously, to make the deck 37 cards, and the 1 card of Safe Return. Just, again, all these dragon rulers bring themselves back. So drawing multiple cards off of this multiple times a turn can be very insane if I see it, and that's the exact reason why I'm playing 3 Upstart, because again, I just want to maximize the potential of hitting all these power 1-ups. For the last spell, I think this is a little funny. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I'm playing 1 Metamorphosis. Obviously, this card has been banned for a long time, so we've never really been able to see what this card can do in this deck, but it has a lot of really cool synergy with this deck, and actually, again, can contribute to some pretty cool combos. We'll talk about it in a sec when we get to the extra deck, but just know I think this card's going to be hilarious if we can draw it, and we'll see how it goes. For the only trap we're playing the 1 Vanity's Emptiness. I could have played the 1 Oppression. Vanity's is at 3 right now. Of course, we only have 2 copies in our collection, but the reason I opted to play this in the main deck over the Oppression is I can turn this card off fairly easily, and the last thing I want to do is flip up an Oppression and then get Raigeki'd or Dark Hold because I don't play Dracosac, and then now the Oppression is there to stop me rather than Emptiness that I can choose when to turn it off accordingly. Hopping over to the extra deck, we have 2 Scrap Dragon, 1 Stardust Dragon, Colossal Fighter, and Crimson Blader as our level 8s. I can see us going into these level 8s pretty frequently with what this deck can do. Scrap Dragon is obviously really great removal. Stardust is probably going to be my go-to when going first, especially because, again, I don't have Dracosac, so I am going to be vulnerable to things like Dark Hole and Raigeki. Colossal Fighter is just a good choice, especially if Ricardo has his own Crimson Blader. I could crash this and bring it back. And speaking of Crimson Blader, this card is really insane at this point in history, not only at stopping Dragon Rulers, which I'm assuming Ricardo is going to play, but he also has that Chaos Dragon deck, and all his Chaos monsters are level 5 and higher, so resolving Crimson Blader can be an FDK all by itself. So for that reason, I definitely think the Colossal Fighter bringing it back, and of course playing it, is staple right now. After the level 8s, we play a couple level 7s, Black Rose and Ancient Fairy. I don't play Ravine, so I don't know if I'll ever go into Ancient Fairy, but, you know, it's there. But Black Rose is something I could definitely see myself making pretty frequently. The Heratics give me very easy access to level 7s, being able to summon a Heratic, tribute it off for another, and then bring out the level 1 from deck. That's an instant Black Rose before normal summoning, or even doing any of my Dragon Ruler plays, so pretty crazy, and I think it's definitely staple for this specific deck. After that, the only other monster I play is a Bryonic. I had one Flexot in this extra deck to play with, and I thought Brio might come up. I could always bring it out off of a Heratic monster. If I special summon Tefnuit and then tributed it for a set specifically, then again I could bring out the guard, and that's level 6. Don't know if I'm going to do it, but I mean, of all the other things that I could have played, I think that's the one thing that might come up. Going on to the Xyz, rank 6s, we have the One Tomb and the newly acquired Swordbreaker from the wheel. Swordbreaker, again, just like a Cataster, I guess, which is pretty decent. Glad we have it. And a Tomb, obviously, is going to be the pinnacle piece to all our Heratic combos, being able to bring out any tuner from the deck, more Heratics to spam the field, and of course, getting out any Dragon Ruler we need for Exceed or Synchro plays. And also another way to bring out a second copy of Title for our Gaios play first turn. The only rank 7s we have is the Big Eye and the Gaios, which I touched on already. Big Eye is really insane. I'm so happy we have this. And Gaios, being our first turn play, if we have it, is going to be pretty hilarious. It does keep all level 5 and higher from attacking, so it conflicts with our Dragon Rulers. But again, I have other Exceeds to make. And if Ricardo is on the deck that I'm assuming he's going to be on this week, this card is going to be really insane. Now, moving on to the last 3 monsters, which are fusions to have synergy with Metamorphosis. First, I'm sure you see it, the last Warrior from Another Planet. Don't know if I'm going to summon it or not if I have the option, but technically, any Dragon Ruler with Metamorphosis will summon this. It nukes my board, unfortunately, but neither player can summon monsters while it's on the field, and this by itself can straight up win a game. Ricardo does have Raikou, and you can set monsters, so it's not the best against this deck, but timed correctly, it can win a game hands down. After that, I do play 2 more. I am specifically playing Humanoid Worm Drake because it's a level 7 water that is a fusion target. So again, maybe I don't have access to 2 waters, but if I had Metamorphosis, as long as I have access to 1, then I could always meta off any other Dragon Ruler to bring this out, setting up my Abyss Gaios play. And for the last fusion, we are playing the Twin Photon Dragon. This is actually the only Dragon level 6 that we have, and there really isn't a lot of them in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, so we're pretty lucky that we actually pulled this. If I didn't have this, then I would have played any other level 6. But the fact that it's a dragon makes it to where it has some pretty cool synergy with any of the Dragon Rulers as far as free fodder to banish if we're trying to summon a Dragon Ruler. But the reason we're playing it, again, Metamorphosis does tribute a monster, so if I have a Heratic on the field, I can tribute a Heratic, bring out the Photon Lizard, and then it'll trigger the Heratic, bringing out the Wattail. There's a Tomb, and yeah, that's combo from there. And again, it's a dragon, so it has synergy, but again, if I didn't have it, that's no problem. I would have played any level 6 to make this possible. Hopping over to the side real quick, it's nothing fancy. 3 MST, Heavy Storm, and Wing Beat. This is all back row hate alongside the Breaker, just in case Ricardo takes a very back row heavy deck. I could definitely see him playing stuff like Bottomless this week, so if that's something he is playing, definitely want to be prepared. After that, it's just a bunch of cards to deal with monsters in case he's on like Vanity's Fiend or Banisher or Kaiku's. So there's Dark Hole Raigeki, Lightning Vortex, and Book of Moon. And then after that, just the other Vanity's Emptiness and Oppression for when I go first, and 3 DD Crow just in case he's on Dragon Rulers or the Chaos deck like I'm assuming he's going to be on. I didn't want to put it in the main just in case, but again, this card's insane against that matchup, so I figured what the heck, put it in the side and we'll see what happens. That's it for the deck list, guys. I'm super excited for today. This could be very insane, and like I said, I really believe this is going to be the fastest deck in this series. Unless Ricardo's pulls are even better than mine, and who knows, maybe his deck will be even crazier than what I have. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the duel. I'm going to pass it on to Ricardo. Peace.
Alright guys, the deck this week is Chaos Dragon Ruler Synchron, and the Synchrons are really just here because, well, I don't have enough dark targets to really fuel the BLS and the Dark Arm Dragon in the way that I would like. So we tossed in the Junk Synchrons to be dark target. That can also bring out the Raikous, the level leaders, and of course our other level 2 and below tuners. So Junk Synchron has a little bit of a second purpose in the deck, but really its main purpose is just to be a body. I'm not running Sangan or Witch this week because T-King has been, well, shutting that down, and I feel like it might see an appearance, but Aside from that, the quick draw is here because of course we are playing Dandy and the level leader, meaning that I have quick access into Drill Warrior, which is pretty essential because with the Light Sworns I'm going to be milling the deck very quickly, and it's nice to be able to recycle cards. Of course our little trio returns because, well, they're incredibly busted, and of course we are playing Light Sworns, so dumping in the grave is easy. Because we got the Chaos Dragon deck, we have Red Eyes Darkness Moon at our disposal, and of course that brings back our Judgment Dragon, it brings back our Dad, it brings back Light Pulsar, and of course our Dragon Ruler lineup, so it is essential for us right now. Next up BLS, because of course the Light Sworns just fill the grave. Next up Judgment Dragon, because of course it is a boss monster, but now it's searchable via Eclipse Wyvern. Basically I put this little guy in the grave and then banish any of my big dragons, and the second I banish the Eclipse Wyvern via BLS or Light Pulsar or Chaos Sorcerer, I get whatever big dragon I banished back to my hand. Next up Dad. Next up we got our trio of Dragon Rulers. Unfortunately no title, but I'll make do with these. Only running one of each because I don't have enough fire attributes, wind attributes, or earth attributes to really abuse them that way. And I'm preferring the Chaos build over the baby dragons. I might regret that, I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll see what happens. Next up, Light Pulsar, because this card is insane, it's recyclable, it's just a free level 6 body that can revive itself from the grave and special summon itself from the hand. Next up are Chaos Sorcerer, because I want to banish the Eclipse Wyvern, but of course I might also build the BLS, and if that's the case, Chaos Sorcerer will have to step it up to get over things like Zen Mains if they appear on Justin's field, or of course whatever rank 7s Justin may have this week. Next up our Dark Flare, which really is just here as a dark body. Next up our Double Cyber Dragon to get over whatever TK may stand in the way, but of course sometimes I might just need a level 5 body on the field. Eclipse Wyvern to search out our big dragons. Lila, because we finally have Lila, it's a free back row pop, it's a mill 3. This card's insane. Next up Double Jane, Gareth, 1 Wolf, I'm not trying to brick again on Wolf, Double Lumina, and Double Raikou. Next up we got our Lone Fire and our Dandy, because of course we're playing plants, our Double Card Trooper to mill and draw, our 1 level leader, a DD Crow, to both serve as a body and as a card that could potentially out any monsters in Justin's grave. Next up Card Destruction, then off the deck, our Charter Light Brigade, once again to search and mill, Last Will because I feel like I'm going to be going through monsters like crazy, Monster Reborn and Premature to bring back whatever I may accidentally dump, the Heavy to clear out any back row alongside the MST, and Pot of Avarice to bring things back to the deck. Next up the double MST, the Monster Reincarnation, double Bottomless, a single Breaker, Raigeki, Dark Hole, Royal Decree, DD Crow, our double Raigeki breaks, and our 3rd Cyber Dragon. Nothing crazy in the side deck, you know, just cards that pretty much just to answer any problems that this deck may encounter. Onto the extra deck, lineup is pretty standard for what we had so far. The newest addition is our Crimson Blader. This card is really insane because, well, if it destroys a monster or a battle, then your opponent can't normal summon or special summon level 5 or higher monsters the next turn, and with the current format being Dragon Rulers, that might be the game-winning play. Once again, Shooting Star Dragon returns alongside Leviathan Dragon, Utopia, and Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon is here because, well, this is probably the only week I'm ever going to consider playing it. It's probably not going to come out, but I do play enough level 8s to actually make it possible. We'll really just see about this one. Sometimes I just like throwing cards in the extra deck because it's their week, and I feel like if I don't play them in this week, I'm never going to play them again. This one is going to be pretty exciting. We're finally at the Dragon Ruler format. It'll be interesting. I'm not sure what Justin pulled. I'm sure he's got a couple Dragon Rulers up his sleeve because, well, they're only rares. But 90% certain I'm going to be seeing Dragon Ruler Mirror in this one. So it's kind of come down to whatever else we check out. This one's going to be a fun one, but it's time to duel.
Justin, how's it going?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Not gonna lie, kind of salty that T King has managed to shut me down 3 weeks in a row. Especially since last week, I technically lost to myself with those Solums, but you know, it is what it is. I picked up the Chaos Dragon, so I can't be too mad about it.
Yeah, that's actually a really insane deck. There's a lot of cool staples, good monsters, especially with the Dragon Rulers now being potentially in the meta. Again, it's not the typical build, but it does create a lot of cool, unique options, at least for our series standard. So, I don't know. I've been kind of thinking about what you might bring this week, and I feel like whether you have a Dragon Ruler core or not, either you're going to go the Chaos route with Dragon Rulers or without, or maybe, who knows, maybe you might just completely mix it up and go something really anti-meta. But no, I'm really curious to see what happens today.
We going Hazy Flames, baby.
Oh, man, that'd be crazy.
Let's just jump into it.
All right, man. Very excited for this one. No Ring of Destruction, unfortunately, but
yeah.
think I'll just have to make do. Ah, okay.
Hmm.
Bummer.
All right. Well, I will be taking first.
Good luck, my friend.
Yep. Same to you. All right. Here we go. Opening draw. All right. Let's go ahead and start off with charge and probably reveal what I'm playing here.
Okay.
Mill 1, Mill 2, Mill 3. Oh, well, there's the Dragon Ruler.
That's pretty dang good.
And I'm going to go ahead and grab a new card I picked up courtesy of the Chaos Dragon deck, Lila.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go ahead and just normal summon Jane.
Okay.
And then at my end phase, I will mill 2 for Jane effect.
Sounds good. No back row. All right, starting turn.
Yep.
All right, let's shuffle up this hand. So I'm not gonna lie, Ricardo. I brought a pretty cool deck this week. I'm very excited for this one. Let's start off with Upstart Goblin.
Yeah, that is fine.
And then next, I'm going to special summon Hieratic Dragon of Tefnuit.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna see these.
I'm going to go ahead and tribute this Hieratic to special summon Sue from my hand.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to activate Tefnuit's effect. And I'll special summon a vanilla from the deck.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and special summon a Watt Tail. And it'll have 0 attack and defense. But, you know, it's a level 6.
Yep.
Next, I'm actually going to do something a little different. I'm going to normal summon by tributing this Sue for Esset. And that will activate Sue's effect to special summon a vanilla from the deck. And this time I'm going to special summon something courtesy of Hidden Arsenal 1 from the first episode of Season 2, Flamvell Guard. Next, I'm going to activate Esset's effect, and I'm going to target the Watt Tail to copy its level, making it level 6. And from there, I'm going to Exceed Summon into, well, luckily I pulled one of these, Hieratic Dragon King of the Tomb. Next, I'm going to detach to summon from the deck. I don't get to attack with the tomb the turn I use this effect, but, you know, get a free dragon, so why not? In this case, I am going to special summon Blaster to the field. So you can tell I've got some dragon rulers. Probably no surprise now that you're seeing all these dragons get thrown around. Now, what do I want to do with this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to synchro these two off into Scrap Dragon. And then I'm going to activate Scrap Dragon's effect. I'm going to destroy...
I am going to go ahead and chain DD Crow. And I'm going to go ahead and banish Blaster.
Oh, okay. That will activate the Blaster effect to search.
Yeah.
So I will search a Fire Dragon. And in this case, I think I will... Well, I guess technically that gets banished. Scrap Dragon resolves. Then Blaster will activate. And I'm actually going to search a... I guess I'm going to grab a second copy of Flamvell Guard.
Alright.
Then I am going to activate Redox's baby form, Pebbles, and discard this Redox to special summon one from the deck. Let's see here. Fortunately, that Upstart Goblin definitely has kind of kept me from going for game in this turn, as crazy as it sounds. But, alright. Guess the next thing I'm going to do is normal summon that Flamvel Guard.
Yeah.
And I will Synchro 8 again.
Mm-hmm.
And this time I will special summon Stardust.
Yeah.
Next, I will go to the battle phase.
Yeah.
And poke with both of them.
Yeah, that is good.
Now, main phase 2. Let me see here. I don't have anything I'm going to set. I'm going to enter the end phase and activate Super Rejuvenation. Now, I attributed 3 monsters for my Heradic play. I attributed, I attributed 2 dragons for the Heradic play and discarded 2 cards for my Pebbles play. So that will allow me to draw 4 cards. 3 and 4. That'll do it for me. Nothing like a free 4 cards.
Go draw. It's like I never banned Mirage of Nightmare. Alright, let's see what I can do here. 2,800, 2,500. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start off by... I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Lumina.
Yeah, that's good.
Lumina effect.
Mm-hmm.
I'll discard Lila. And then I'll just go ahead and special summon that same Lila.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going to go ahead and place 1 card back on top of my deck. And special summon Plague from my graveyard.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going to go ahead and sync 6 with Lila and Plague Spreader into Goyo Guardian.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going to go into battle phase and have Goyo attack Stardust.
Sounds good. I'm assuming you want to take it in defense?
Yeah. Main phase 2. I think I just have to pass there. So at end phase, Lumina will mill 3.
Sounds good. There's some dragons.
Alright, and I gotta pass there.
Alright, starting turn. Okay, do quite a few things, actually. It's very interesting. Well, you're only at 37. I'm going to start off by activating Redox in the graveyard. I'm going to banish 2 dragons. Alright, so that'll hit the field. What I'm going to do is I'm going to activate, once again, Pebbles in hand. And I'm going to discard Title to the graveyard. And I do have a second Redox in the deck. Alright, next I'm going to normal summon a set.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tribute that off and special summon Sue. And that'll activate a set's effect. Special summon a vanilla from the deck or grave. And I think in this case, I'm going to special summon Flamvel Guard. Next, I am going to synchro with the Redox special summoned off of Pebbles and the Flamvel Guard into a new synchro monster that I got, Crimson Blader. And then I'm going to activate this Title in my graveyard. I'm going to banish 2 dragons to bring it back. And we're going to overlay for a rank 7. And
is this the Big Eye?
That it is. Big Eye will hit the field.
Damn. That Crimson Blader pretty much locks me out for this one.
Yep. And I could take the Goyo, but I won't have the space to steal my Stardust back. But I think instead what I'm going to do is I will detach, and I'm still going to take that Goyo. But instead of doing it to get my Stardust back, I'm just going to overlay for another rank 6. And this time I'm going to make Swordbreaker. Now, Big Eye can't attack, which is unfortunate, but I still think this is enough for game unless you have Honest. But to be safe, we'll go to battle phase with Crimson Blader first. And I guess we'll attack the Stardust using Crimson Blader's effect. And then I will attack with Swordbreaker. I'm not using the effect. That way I can still do battle damage. And I'm going to attempt to swing for game.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, let's go.
Damn, all the Dragon Rulers.
I got a decent lineup. I think you'll be pretty interested to see it at the end. All right.
Damn.
Game 2.
I guess I gotta take first again. That is a... Man, the Big Eye makes all the difference here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, in the deck profile I mentioned, I think this is probably the fastest deck I've built yet. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, that's rough. Standby, main.
Yeah.
Man, not much I can do here. I'm going to set one and pass.
Wow. Okay. Starting turn. Interesting. Well, I think what I'm going to start off with, activate Stream's effect, discarding it and this Redox to summon a dragon reload. Okay, and Tidal will hit the field. It can't attack though when it's summoned from a baby.
Okay.
Next, I'm actually going to tribute the Tidal to normal summon Sue to the field. Summon good?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to activate Sue's effect. I can tribute a Heradic monster from my hand or my side of the field to destroy a spell or trap. So I'm going to tribute this Tefnuit and target your back row.
That's unfortunate.
Alright, Tefnuit effect. Gonna special summon Wattail.
Yeah.
Already normal summoned, unfortunately. But I think that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna overlay for a tomb once again. And again, once I use the effect, it can't attack this turn, but I'm still gonna use it and get a dragon.
Yeah.
Alright, in this case, I think I'm gonna be safe because I don't think I can kill you this turn. And I'm gonna special summon Tidal from the deck. Next, I will activate Tidal's effect in the graveyard, and I'm going to banish Redox, and I guess this Streams to summon.
Alright, so I will chain Crow and banish the Tidal.
Alright, so this will prevent me from being able to search this time. So Tidal gets banished. Redox effect does activate though, so I get a free Earth Dragon.
Scary Dragon Rulers.
I guess I'm just gonna add a copy of Redox to hand. You started out pretty slow, so I almost feel like I don't have to feel obligated to like go crazy right now. I guess the question is it worth getting in for damage? No, I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna pass because I don't want to waste resources.
Alright, here we go. Draw. Man, not the card I wanted to see. I feel like you can come back from this pretty easily, but no real choice. I will write Geki, and then I'm going to set one and pass.
Okay, starting turn. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to start things off with activating Pebble's effect, discarding the Redox to summon a Redox from deck.
Yeah.
And then next, I will just normal summon Flambeau Guard.
Yeah.
And to play, well, let me see here. The thing is, if that's Raikou, Stardust can't really stop it. Yeah, if that's specifically Raikou, it just kind of messes up a lot of things. I mean, like, I can play around Raikou, but not in the way that I want to, unfortunately. You know, I think it's actually going to be okay. Maybe I'm just really overthinking this. I think what I'm going to do is... I think now I'm going to activate Redox in the grave and banish 2 dragons to try to summon it.
Yeah.
Alright, Redox hits the field. And then next, I'm going to overlay.
Yeah.
And this will be for Big Eye.
Yeah.
And Big Eye will steal. Alright. That's pretty cool. Well, I don't know how much that changes, unfortunately. Oh, well. I think... Well, luckily I get to keep it, I guess. Next, I'm going to activate Title's effect and banish 2 more dragons to summon it. And I think I will... I guess I'll flip summon this Spore and go to battle.
Yes, that's, what, 3100?
That is 3100. Main phase 2, I will Synchro Summon with the Flambeau Guard and the Title. And I'm going to make Stardust Dragon.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for me.
Damn. This is literally the worst bricked hand I've drawn in a long time. I hate saying you got it, but you got it.
No way.
Bro, it...
Oh, the boss monsters. Oh, that's rough. You know, I remember back in the day with Chaos Dragons specifically, the deck was either insanely crazy because it milled everything in one turn, and then it just had all the boss monsters and recursion with Light Pulsar to keep pushing, or you bricked on boss monsters.
That was so rough.
Sorry about that, Ricardo.
Nah, man, that was rough completely. Ugh. So I know you got some dragon rulers, obviously.
I definitely got some dragon rulers for sure. Okay, so let me go ahead and explain here. You can have your Spore back.
Yeah.
So we'll put that guy in the extra deck. Put that. All right. So, unfortunately, when I came into this, I knew I had a pretty decent Heradic core, but the problem was that I didn't have a lot of rank 6s. Luckily on my wheel, I did get a super rare to get the Swordbreaker, which was nice. So that made it to where I had at least 2 playable Exceeds. But one thing that I could have done game 1, and I kind of misplayed, I should have baited the DD Crow before doing it. Actually, I'll tell you about that combo in a sec. But anyway, when I went into my opening, I knew I wanted to get at least 1 of each ruler if possible. Obviously, Draco Sack would be amazing, but I knew I had the Big Eye, so, you know, at least I had that. Unfortunately, I did not pull any of the Wind Dragon Ruler, but I did still pull a pretty insane Dragon Ruler core outside of that. So, 3 blasters, which is the big beefy one. And then you saw it in the last game, 3 Redoxes. Wherever the other one is. Oh, it's banished. And then I only got 2 titles. So I know I'm saying only, and I'm looking at your side, and you only have 3 rulers. But this is basically what I got. I got a plethora of babies, including the Wind Baby, but I pulled no Wind. I did not pull a Draco Sack, but I did have the Big Eye. Now, but really the big thing about this is the fact that I pulled 2 titles, because that actually made it to where I had a playable first turn play. typically in test hands, I basically did the combo that you kind of saw. You can make like a Tomb and Stardust or a Tomb and a rank 7. Now, the beautiful thing about having 2 titles is typically in Dragon Ruler you want to play like 3 big and then 2 baby, but since I only had 2 of the big one, I decided to play 3 water baby. That way I can consistently summon a copy of it without using its effect. Then I can also bring out the second copy, whether it's through its own effect or a tomb, to make way for Mermail Abyss Gaios. So this was kind of my goal first turn board, was a Tomb Gaios alongside Stardust Dragon. It does prevent level 5 and higher from attacking, so the Stardust can't attack, but again, I have some exceeds to go into, and I can always just pop this with Scrap Dragon when I go for game. Honestly, my Dragon Ruler core is like super insane. I only wanted 1 of every color, and I got a good stack of them. I have to check the ban list for next episode, but I know the babies get banned, Super Riju gets banned, so that'll be at 1 for us. And then I know the following list, all the Dragon Rulers get put to 1, but I don't know if that lands on the next set or in the next episode or not. So they're not going to be crazy for long, but it's definitely still going to be playable, especially for the Hieratic engine that I have. I figured even if I'm playing 1 of each of the 3 that I have, I think I can make that work, especially for the fact that Blaster searches the level 1 tuner that I have 2 copies of in this deck. And that's really what puts this deck over the top. Being able to tutor out any dragon, get access to level 1 tuners to set up synchro plays, and then obviously Super Rejuve, super insane, not only discarding for babies, but also tributing Hieratics. The deck was pretty insane.
Yeah, so Chaos Dragon, the issue here is that bricks are ridiculously alive. The issue I ran into when building was not having enough darks that do anything. So we defaulted on the junk synchrons just because, I'm playing the Raikos, and I figure worst case scenario they get milled. But ultimately what happened was just not drawing any of the Dragon Rulers when needed, and like, look at all this mill power. So we got, Charge of the Light Brigade, we've got every one of my Light Sworns, we got the double card troopers. I don't think I saw any of it, which is really irritating.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you run so many boss monsters,
Right. And unfortunately, the one downside to this build compared to mine is that yours typically is going to, maybe 9 times out of 10, will take 1 turn to set up, whereas my deck is ready to combo as soon as turn 1, which is, again, what makes this really crazy, because really Dragon Rulers, in my opinion, I mean, I guess you can make an argument for Mermail, but in my opinion, Dragon Ruler is really when Yu-Gi-Oh pivoted in that direction of high ceiling decks, high combo rates, being able to play through traps, hand traps, break boards, be defensive, versatility, beyond the fact of normal summoning and setting a couple back row, and unfortunately, I feel like while the Light Sworns are very good, especially when you combine them with the Light Sworn structure deck that paired really well with the Dragon Rulers after they all went to 1. I just think right now in this form, especially going up against a very pure variant, I guess you could call it, of Dragon Ruler, it's very hard to keep up with that speed.
Yeah. It's a shame. Light Sworns are fun, but I think I'm just missing a couple key cards, like the recharges and Foolish Burial, oddly enough. That card, I thought it was in the Dragon deck, but it wasn't, which was really interesting because
I would have thought it would too.
Graveyard reliant. But yeah, the issue that I found opening sets this week, because I don't know what else you opened. I figured that this was going to be a Dragon Ruler heavy episode regardless of what was pulled. Fire Fist wise, I did okay. Pulled a single bear, which is kind of irritating. I wish I had one more. No Tiger Kings, but I pulled triple Tenki and a couple Ravens and Hawks, so they were an option, but the lack of Tiger King basically said I'm not playing Fire Fist this week.
Dang, you get Gorilla at least, maybe?
I got Gorilla. I got a shit ton of Gorillas.
Oh,
but no Tiger King was just... Yeah, but no Tiger King, so
Well, you don't need Tiger King to play the deck. It's just an extra deck option. I think really at the end of the day, Gorilla and Bear is what makes the deck.
That's true. Might have to keep them in mind for later down the road.
Yeah, I personally really like the Fire Fists. I pulled similar to you. I didn't get Tiger King. I did get Tankies. I didn't get Bear like you, though, unfortunately. So that right away made it to where if I don't even have one Bear, then I'm not even going to really consider the deck. Yeah. And then I moved on to Tachyon, and then this happened. And I knew right away.
Tachyon was pretty insane. I got 2 blasters. Only playing the one because in test hands I was bricking a lot. I got the baby dragons, but the issue with baby dragons was if I played a lot of the baby dragons, I don't really get to have room for like light swords and stuff. And I wanted the chaos version just because I wanted to play Judgment Dragon now that I have Eclipse Wyvern. But again, the bricking was not worth it.
Right. Okay, before I forget, I want to mention this. I cited this card out because I was going second. But this week I played Metamorphosis in this deck. And the reason is one, I can tribute a Heratic and special summon my twin Photon Lizard, which is a level 6 dragon. So it makes it to where I can go into a tomb and it will trigger the Heratic monsters. Also, the Gaios was the main play, so if ever I had access to only one title and another dragon, then I couldn't make Gaios. But if I had Metamorphosis, then I could tribute off the other ruler and bring out Humanoid Worm Drake. As funny as it is, but the main reason, I've been trying to play this card for so long, and it finally had a moment to shine. I just didn't draw Metamorphosis. I was really trying to summon the last warrior from another planet on you. So bad. The deck's full of level 7, so it's like, this is perfect.
That's disgusting.
No, but honestly, you can look at my deck list. It's really just mainstream. It's literally 9 Heratic monsters with the Rhoda. There's like, I believe, 3, 3, 2 of the big, and then 2, 2, 3 of the small. And then you see MST and Heavy Storm right now in the deck, but those were in the side. I played no monster removal. I played no back row removal. I had 3 Upstart in the main. Card of Safe Return is insane. The deck was literally all gas, and I just thought this has to be the craziest deck I've built on this series so far. How long is it going to stay viable, though? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out in the next 2 sets, and also next episode is an important one because the winner gets to pick who opens what starter deck. We're finally getting to the starter deck Yugi and Kaiba Reloaded, what the series was named after, so that's going to be pretty cool.
What am I going to do with either of those decks?
There's a couple of staples when I look through there, but really, I know for me, I have my eyes on one specifically. I would be fine with either of them because there are cards in both of them that either I'm missing or I could use multiples of. But there's one specifically that I want because it definitely gives me a card that I need multiples of. So, I don't know. I'm very excited. And again, I got to check the ban list to see exactly what these Dragon Rulers are going to be looking like. But either way, I think this was pretty insane.
Yeah, there's a couple banless cards that actually really changed things. Both Solums only went to 1, so I missed the Solum trio already, you know?
Yeah.
Cost me a lot of games, but...
Just burning yourself.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, this is the second week in a row where I've seen myself bricked to death. Something I got to keep in mind heading into next week. But
I think you just got to figure out a consistent deck and stop trying to I don't know. Man, I don't know. Like, your deck looks pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. Like, if it comboed off and gets everything set up, it could be, I don't know. That could be pretty frustrating to get over. But, I mean, it's hard when you're going up against almost full power Dragon Ruler. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, between your Big Eye and the Abyss Gaios, I don't know. There's a lot to worry about here. But I'll figure out how to do that next week, I guess, ideally. And then we'll finally see the Reloaded. So until then, And see you guys.
Peace.